Hi guys, and welcome to Dee's Media World. As promised, I am doing Stephen Baum for this week, and this is actually my first Stephen Baum on television because I binge watched the whole show, so I didn't realize that it was only one little episode, like one 15-minute, 11-minute, however long it is, episode per day. So, sorry if this is a little late because I was confused. But in any case, this episode is called Cry for Help. And long story short, it is a Garnet and Pearl episode, but not in the way you expected. And I will say that there are spoilers, so just so you know, obviously, since this is a review, but this was a really good episode. I don't know if Rebecca Sugar hates Pearl, but I swear they make Pearl look bad every time they can. I mean, I love Pearl, but this is where I was like, oh man, she pissed Garnet off. I think this is the first time she pissed Garnet off, which is, kind of hard to do in a way because, Garnet's kind of a patient gem. So the fact that she got thrown to the ground says a lot about what she had done to her. So basically what happens is this episode is Peridot uses some type of communication hub to try to connect to Yellow Diamond and whatnot. And so Garnet and Pearl fuse together so they can destroy the communication hub. And so that's how we meet Sardonyx. I think I said it correctly. That's their fusion, and it was awesome. The dance they do is just so cute. It's funny because Pearl is like really into it. Like I mean, their dancing's always been kind of sexual, but here Pearl was like jamming. She was just like totally in the zone. But and it was actually really great to see. I really like the character Sardonyx, the fusion. They fused twice in this episode, which is actually they might have done it more times. I think it was twice that we saw it, and it was awesome. I don't think we've ever seen that before yet. And what Sardonyx is personality wise, she's definitely the most different character. She's cocky, but she's confident. She's funny. She's kind of like a talk show host, is how a lot of people have been describing the character. And yeah, I think she is kind of like a talk show host. She's kind of a show off, but she's in control of being a show off. She's like Sugalanite. I think I always get that name confused. Kind of like her, except much more in control, and you can tell just by their appearance. Like Sugalanite is like very like looks like she would be destroying things. Um, and we'll get to that later. And then the one other aspect of the episode was Amethyst, her jealousy of like seeing Garnet and Pearl fuse. What's interesting though is that Garnet must be an awesome person to fuse with, and they say it like it's because she makes them powerful for just those couple of minutes that they're fused together. But like they both, like if you rewatch Coach Steven, Pearl was hating. She was mad that Garnet didn't want to fuse with her. Well, she wasn't angry, but she was jealous. And in this episode, Amethyst is jealous that Garnet didn't want to fuse with her because of whatever reason, because I guess she felt that they needed a more controlled gym. I just kind of fascinating because Garnet's a fusion all the time, and we never see her be jealous of something like that. So I think that's kind of interesting. It must be a really great experience to be fused with another gym, um, which I thought was interesting. Even in this episode, I didn't know the name of the song, but Amethyst sings a song um, about kind of like her feelings. It was an okay song about how she, I guess, doesn't feel good enough, which is something Amethyst has always had problems with anyway. So it was kind of interesting to see that. And this is the first time she's ever sung a song by herself, which is strange because, Pearl has definitely sung like 4 songs by this point. Let's see. This this episode just proved that Pearl is a mess, and I loved it. I loved it when we find out that Pearl is the one who has been reconnecting the communication hub so they can go back and destroy it. It's like, really, Pearl? I mean, I love Pearl. I know other people might hate her. She's kind of a love-or-hate kind of character, but she is such a mess. I wouldn't even thought she was going to do something like that, but it makes so much sense with her personality. And when Garner finds out, she is furious. And then this episode, I think kind of the greatest thing about it, but it's also the saddest thing, is that this episode ends with them not making up. Like Garnet is still pissed, and we know, and the reason for that probably is that, Garnet takes fusion seriously. She takes it very seriously. It's used only for important reasons, or it's a real deep connection between gems. So she felt betrayed that Pearl had been tricking her into fusion. And you could take that in different contexts. It's almost like tricking someone into doing something that they didn't need to do. And she felt kind of betrayed because Pearl is well, relatively speaking, a trustworthy person. So it was kind of unusual to hear her do that. So, but it was really surprising how they didn't make up at the end of the episode. So I can't wait to see what happens next. I think that's all I have to say for this episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow.